This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup, register, and attend one of our fantastic networking meetings, which we meet on the first and third Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park, and the second and fourth Thursday at the Upper Crust in Newtown Square. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by David Oliver of Oliver Heating and Cooling. David, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Rich. Glad to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
David, talk about Oliver Heating and Cooling. How did that get started?
Well, Oliver Heating and Cooling was actually, we have a unique beginning. My dad started the company 52 years ago, 1971. It was actually started at a church prayer meeting. My dad worked for Boeing for many years. There was a Boeing Vertol plant down where BJ's is now on 420. And he was one of 10,000 people who was laid off from Boeing when the Vietnam was, they stopped making helicopters. He was an engineer who designed helicopters. So he was laid off, and I'm one of 6 kids. So he had a wife and 6 kids and no job. What do? You go to church. You get on your knees, right? So that's what he did. And he was asking people for prayers at the end of the prayer meeting. And one of the gentlemen who was praying with my dad was in the heating and air conditioning business and said, "Hey, I can help you get started." And my dad said, "Hey, I have to do something." So he stepped out in faith. And 52 years later, we're still going strong.
So it was divine intervention.
Amen. Yes. And a couple of other points. His first employee was named Adam. So he thought that was another divine point in the life of Oliver Heating and Cooling. Yep.
Well, I said that is cool. And that just keeps on, everything keeps on going with that, doesn't it?
It does. It does. But we, again, my dad, from his humble beginnings, he's always depended on God. And that's why we've been going on this long, to say, hey, this is, we've been blessed as well. And we try to give back to the community as well. But again, my dad still comes into the office every so often and pokes around, makes sure my brother and I are doing a great job.
David, as being a family-run business now for 52 years and being a fixture in the Delco community, what are some of your early recollections of the heating and cooling business and that of your dad starting and running a business?
Well, remember when we were all, it was back before cell phones and things like that. If my mom and dad were out of the house, we had to answer the phone. some of my early recollections. So my brothers and I would, draw straws or having some kind of agreement who was answering the phone next. So we'd have to take a message and, handwritten message. So it was pretty old school back in the 70s.
So your first responsibilities with the company were you were the answering service.
Yeah, yes. But seriously, though, my mom really, she helped out. She passed away 10 years ago, but she really helped out in the beginning with the secretarial duties when she had time, besides raising 6 boys as well. So that's... she did a great job of that. The other memory I have is at night we get calls for emergency service, and if my dad, needed to go out, a lot of times he'd grab one of us and to go with him. And I think it was more to keep him company, going out at night after dinner, and he did a lot of refrigeration, ice machines, refrigeration cases, walk-in boxes, and things like that back in the day. And I remember holding the flashlight for him. And he always said that that was the most important job. But now that, I look back on those times and remembering those service calls with him, it was good father and son time. He was running the business, but those were those times when I had one-on-one with him, as well as, keeping him company, I think was my main task, even though he said it was holding the flashlight, but good memories of the old days.
That really sounds special. And those times you don't recognize probably when you're in them, but you recognize them now. And that is really special. That
is true. Yep.
All right. We are in July. This is the heat season. We talked about before we started recording. If you haven't checked your air conditioner, you're going to know whether it works or not now. But talk about the services that Oliver Heating and Cooling provide to the community.
Well, we have quite a variety of services. We're mainly heating and air conditioning. Like I said, that's what we're known for, how my dad started the business. And it's both for your home as well as for your business. We have a commercial division as well. So we do heating and air conditioning services for your home and your business. We have a membership plan. We call it our Peace of Mind membership plan. And that's for all the services in your home, your heating, your air conditioning, and it also includes plumbing and electrical inspections as well. These are all included in this Peace of Mind membership. So again, we cover all the services inside your home, all the mechanical pieces, your heater, air conditioner, plumbing, and electrical. More specifically, our plumbing services also include water heaters. We do sewer inspections, drain clearing, water testing, and water treatment systems as well. And on the electrical side, our services include whole house generators, electric vehicle chargers for your home, lighting, and all electrical repairs. We also do service upgrades for your electric service in your home. We also have a home remodeling division. Our services in home remodeling include new kitchens and baths, decks, insulation services, as well as finished basements and other small projects. But again, it's everything that goes on in your home. And the good thing about that is if you need a new kitchen or bathroom, it's all from Oliver. We don't subcontract out any of the work. So the plumber, the electrician, the drywall, it's all from Oliver. So
from your humble beginnings, you really are covering just about every facet and every part of somebody's home. And it's interesting that you say things like, hey, charging stations for your car. You'll do things that people, as talk about kitchens and baths or other remodels that people may not be thinking about, that generators, this is the time. Thunderstorm season, if you don't want to be without that refrigeration for more than a couple hours, it's something to think about.
That's true. One other thing I just wanted to mention, we do offer financing plans on all major repairs and projects for your home. So that sometimes you have an emergency that your air conditioning goes out and you need a new system. We do offer no interest financing plans. So that's something that'll help make that emergency repair or emergency replacement a little easier for you.
I'm curious, and you talk about replacing major mechanical systems in your house. Are there still some sort of tax or government incentives for doing anything that you can help service?
Well, there are, there are some tax credits that are available. I always defer to someone's tax accountant to confirm that, but because you have to have that tax liability to get a tax credit. But on the higher efficiency side, yes, there are some incentives from the government for tax credits on your heating, high efficiency heating and air conditioning system. So
you're still in it every day to day, seeing the industry as a whole. And as you know, we're down the road from the COVID pandemic, but are there still things that you're seeing or how to work with your customers to, either educate them about, part replacement or anything that's kind of going on still with any shortages, anything in that industry that you're finding?
No, I mean, we have a pretty good handle on inventory. That's one thing that we pride ourselves at Oliver. There is, situations where there's a part that somebody needs on a unique piece of equipment, or maybe it's not even a unique piece of equipment. But we do our best to put out an APB and try to get that part in wherever we can. So, but for the most part, we haven't been affected as much. We try to do a good job of keeping all equipment in stock in our warehouses. So, and if we don't have it, we can get it pretty quickly, whatever the situation is.
That is comforting to me or the consumer, knowing that it's not going to be backed up or take too long if something really needs to be fixed, especially like we talked about. It's hot out there. You want your AC back on sooner rather than later so that frustration level doesn't boil up. David, you mentioned giving back to the community and that being a principal foundation of what Oliver Heating and Cooling does. Talk a little bit about more of how you do that.
Well, again, we've been blessed as a company from my dad's starting the company and stepping out in faith. And he's always had a feeling of giving back at his church as well as to the community. And our main annual program that Oliver conducts, we call it our Heat for the Holidays program. And in the wintertime, we have a process where we have a committee. We have letters that go out to local churches and organizations, and whoever needs a new heating system, these people are nominated from a church or a friend, somebody who hears about our program. We promote it on our website as well. That main program, when we get those nominations, the committee goes through and chooses, we get dozens of nominations, and it's hard to choose sometime who's, what are the most needy people in the community. But the committee gets together and then we come up with 4 or 5 typically families who need a new heater, and we go out, and on a Saturday our employees donate their time and we put in these heaters. We also have donations from a lot of our vendors with some of the equipment and materials. So it's a great program, and it makes our employees feel good. To me, that's one of the best things about it, because they feel that they're giving back as well, because they feel blessed to be working at Oliver. So when time comes that they can give back, our employees do that, and they give up their Saturday to participate in this Heat for the Holidays program.
That is wonderful. David, how do people connect with you? How do they find Oliver Heating and Cooling?
Well, our main way is our website. It's oliverheatcool.com. We're also on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So, but the website's the best place to start. And I know this is about Delco, so we have that 610 area code. Our phone number is 610-544-4884.
Are you still vying for the option to answer the phone, or do you have somebody take care of that for you?
We have a couple people answering the phone. But now when it gets busy like this, it's, we ask everyone to be patient, because You might not get a live person right away, but we will call you back if you leave a message.
Well, you talk about Delco, and you're a Delco guy. So where are you going for a cheesesteak?
Oh, jeez. Well, probably it's tough. It's one of those things. If you say one place, you'll have everybody has a different favorite place, But my favorite, I have to say, is the Dairy Cottage for my cheesesteaks.
All right. And that's been mentioned on the podcast too.
Okay.
Look, I get it. And sometimes I ask this question, David, and I'm not really sure, we don't know the ins and outs of everybody. And they say, well, I don't eat cheesesteaks because I'm a vegetarian. So, then it spins a different direction. If you had that cheesesteak today and you're looking for a pizza option, where are you going for a pizza?
Oh, geez. That's probably a little bit of a tougher question, but wow. I'd say either Chirino's probably be my go-to.
Well, that's not been mentioned on the podcast, so
okay.
wonderful opportunity.
Yep, Chirino's in Springfield.
I'm going to make this an easier question for you. It's a multiple choice. You need a convenience store option because you're needing something on the way to the office. Are you going to Wawa or are you going to Royal Farms?
Absolutely Wawa. Never a doubt.
David, how do you explain or how do you communicate Delco to somebody that's not from here? How do you explain it?
Well, it's that, to me, it's that blue collar, hardworking, multi-generational, and that generation ties into family. It's that family community. It's a large area with a lot of people, but no matter where you go, you still have that Delco feel.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town, and you want to give them that Delco experience. Where might you be sending them, or where might you be taking them?
That's a good question. Well, definitely to Wawa, and my two girls. That's like the first stop, because one's in Texas, the other one's in New York, and when they come home, that's their first stop is it's Wawa. So, and when they bring friends, that's from out of town. That's where they go, is Wawa.
All right. So you're going to give them that Wawa experience after making sure their heating and cooling needs are met, making sure that wherever they are, they're going to be comfortable, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
David, what motivates you? What inspires you to get out of bed every day?
Well, you know what? It's the idea of coming into this great place to work for all of our people. I mean, I feel that responsibility for more than 200 families. We have more than 200 employees at Oliver, and for those families to make sure this is a great place to work for them and that they all have a career path as well, that they all have that opportunity to grow with the company. And we offer different training programs. We're committed to training and further education for all of our employees. And they all have that opportunity for advancement here at the company, and just finding different ways and, different ideas to build up the company. And that, again, in turn, gives more opportunity for all of our employees. And it's also just the idea of taking care of our community. The employees, if we can make them happy through education and advancement and opportunities, they're going to make sure that our customers are happy. They do a great job for the customers, from answering the phone to our techs coming out and fixing their air conditioner. That's really, really important. But the ways we take care of the community as well, we're involved with another organization. I mentioned the Heat for the Holidays. but we're also involved with other charitable organizations, one being Beer Ends of Food for Friends, which is an organization that helps to fight hunger in the area. And these are the types of things that way I can give back as an owner to the community and also to our people, and make sure that all of our employees have careers.
Is there anything we haven't touched on the podcast? Anything you want people to know about you or Oliver Heating?
Well, I think that's about it. I said we are the largest, still family-owned, independent heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, home remodeling company in the area. Okay, and we want to continue to fulfill that family legacy that my dad started 52 years ago. And it's important to fulfill that legacy and to keep doing a great job for our employees as well as our customers and the community in Delaware County.
David, thank you so much for your time today. We are grateful that you're a friend of What's Happening Delco. We appreciate all that you're doing to keep Delco cool this time of year. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rich.